So I guess I'm on this kick that I could explain sports astrology using Christosis, uh, alchemy, or something. Oh, what did I want to bring back up? Um, okay, so I don't really know if I believe that carbon exists because carbon is interlocking ashes, hypothetically. Usually, sugar holds it together. So if you burn sugar and melted it, then ashes mixed in makes carbon. But the mystery stone pegmatite allows for the interweaving of rare elements like tourmaline, and which you can say sounds like melanin. You can also say crack has melanin, and crack is melanin, but crack is supposed to be white. I mean, white. Or that why would you need a conspiracy to put melanin inside of crack? Because food has melanin in it, and I don't know. You can. I don't know which. I'm not an expert for which food has melanin, but I suspect it's like uh, land strains of vegetation. But if you believe the Edidorpha, then the land strains didn't produce very much food. If anything, that they were so protected by acidic oils and a hard pit, very dense with a tiny little kernel that you're supposed to crack this thing open for, that you would require like a vice and an anvil or something to like crack it, then or you have to use a then to go in and get the food part. It's like you're gonna use a paper clip to like pop it out, and that's all the food you get. And it's like all thorns and brambles, and like uh they got these midgets to like from Africa that were able to trick food out of using botanical their botanical understanding how to genetically modify. So like even corn, right, which has come from a blade of grass with only one kernel in it. It was called teosynth. Was introduced to the Americas from uh, Congo or something like that. Like before, like the old. It's like when they say old mix, that just means a bunch of different groups of people that we don't have a classification. They're all in the same classification as Olmec. It doesn't mean anything. It's an invented word. Just get that out the way first, right? Like, but you can spell it with a different. There's a different language you can spell out with the same. It's the same thing. We're just doing the same thing. We just don't call it a classification of a problem of things we don't know. We call it ancestors. So it's just some ways you get to a demiurge or some overlord god, and that is actually just misinterpreted from a mystery system that's for the ancestors. So there's a name for the ancestors, and there's a name um, for their protagonist, or their like a Christ figure. They're not saying that's the same thing as a messianic Christ figure would even be. So there's no like debating whether or not you believe, ask somebody if they believe. It's like, I have a different dogma. What are you talking about? Do you think that I could all of a sudden up and crown myself as the Prince of Nigeria? Then perhaps you tried with fashion and stuff and fucking shopping at thrift stores or something. But you're not gonna, it's not gonna work. Um, so back to Christology and sports astrologies. Uh, Interlocking carbon is only really like, it's only, that's why we study pegmatite. It's not that you can really find that, it's ashes. So the ashes only refers to the state of molten lava. It's not even saying that the carbon exists, because it's interwoven ashes means it comes from the magma. It's not saying that, it's saying there's rare elements that get released, that the mystery mineral interweaves that, which is crystallosis. And the whole ash is just a reference. It's just like an occult literary reference point that we needed. Magma. So also birds, right? Feathers have fronds, and fronds have interlocking blades all the way up. That's why they can preen and fix their feathers with their beak, because they're just tightening up this. It's a zipper. Every frond on the feather can zip lock tie together, and they can preen it. So the eagle can fix his own feathers, right? Because the interlocking blades on the fronds of the feather. That's why it's a deity. So the eagles are going to win, because they're a deity, like a feather in the West Nile Valley. Feather is a goddess deity. Your heart is weighed against a feather. So they're probably trying to give back the bird head that they probably killed, that we don't even really know about, and in the form of some unknowing, useful. I don't want to say, because he's a really smart guy. That feels funny, saying anything idiot about somebody who's really smart. But he could be used to, and then they could be like trying to give it back to us in this ritual where the chief was going to be like crystallology. Oh, wait a minute. And he didn't have it on the Eagles. So the Eagles molted on the Chiefs. That's my own dogma, though. You can easily prove it wrong if you want to. I mean, you don't have to subscribe to any of it. I'm just saying it's a betting, like, as far as like betting, it's a worthless bet right after halftime, because there's a ritual at halftime that you have to by then already probably know who's gonna win. It's like, I don't know. Let's remix. This is some remix. That's what it's happened every year, so you can kind of do the same thing. But I didn't bet or anything, so damn. People were betting based on just skill and everything like that. Then they should have played a college team.